MatPat, the host of Game Theory, Film Theory, and most recently Food Theory, is, at least in my opinion, which is really the only valid opinion, the best bad YouTuber. Now you're probably wondering, what does that even mean? And that's what we're here to talk about today. Let's go. So I've been putting off this video for some time and I just didn't know where to go with it. But this right here was the catalyst to the inception of this video.
Dudes, which brings us to the topic of today. Vanilla, as you know it, is going extinct.
4 minutes and 53 seconds in, MatPat finally gets to the main point of the video. Usually when you make a YouTube video, you want to get straight to the point. For audience retention, for the entertainment of the audience, and to fulfill on the promise of the title and thumbnail. So how does he does it? Simple. MatPat's videos follow a conventional essay structure. I hear the term video essay a lot, but I don't think it's really recognized what that actually implies. The first nearly 5 minutes of MatPat's 12-minute video are his introduction. I know you're thinking, obviously, the first part of anything is the introduction. But when you look closer at the structure of an essay's intro and MatPat's intro, the parallels tend to grow stronger than just being intros themselves. An essay's introduction has about 3 main parts. 1, the hook, is what grabs the reader, or in this case, the viewer's attention. 2, context, sounds just as it is, educates the reader or viewer on the topic at hand just enough for the argument position to be understood. 3, the actual argument / position or thesis statement is simply stating what you'll be corroborating evidence for. Now let's look at MatPat's videos.
Say goodbye to your vanilla ice cream friends because it's on the verge of going extinct. The only thing that may be able to save it is this beaver butt.
Right there, hook within the first few seconds of the video. This leaves the viewer wondering what's going on and how does this relate. It leaves the viewer with a question they need answered. Okay, now where's the context? Well, most of this time it's left the context, like you would want to in an actual essay, as your hook and thesis are short 1 to 2 sentence things.
In the past few years, vanilla's ascended to become the second most expensive spice in the world, second only to saffron. In fact, vanilla is worth more than its weight in silver, reaching nearly $700 per kilogram at its peak.
And that's pretty much all this portion of the video is.
Ask anyone who's tried to maintain a home garden. They are one of the hardest flowers to grow. You need to be close to the equator so it's warm, but it can't be in a desert because the vanilla orchid needs a healthy amount of water to grow. But too much heavy rainfall can also damage this delicate plant.
MatPat provides excellent and extensive information and context for vanilla, which is the general topic of the video. All this context actually aids the viewer's understanding of what MatPat will discuss. This makes it easier for MatPat to prove his point, and I just hope that everyone is an expert in all things vanilla. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but where's this thesis statement? Well, I've already kinda showed it to you.
Which brings us to the topic of today. Vanilla, as you know it, is going extinct. Over the last few years, you've shown the food industry that you're okay with substitutes, and they are more than happy to provide. Remember that $700 per kilogram figure I mentioned earlier in the video? Well, that's when vanilla prices peaked in around 2018.
See, he even brings back the context in order to expand and transition into his talking point. The transition is also the 4th part of an introduction that I didn't mention beforehand. But you said there was only 3. No, I said about 3. You gotta stay ahead of the game. But semantics aside, I think you get the point I'm making. If I wanted to, I could drag this video out and point out every time you mention some context or analyze his body paragraphs and conclusions, but it's unnecessary. Like I said, it's easy enough to follow, especially after it's pointed out, and it'll just be repetitive. So to wrap up, and breaking a huge unspoken YouTube rule, MatPat very masterfully is able to make some of the greatest videos on YouTube from a subjective and technical perspective. I guess we can all learn a little something from MatPat. But that's just a theory. Thanks for watching. Check out the background music below and MatPat's channels, and check out one of these videos on screen if you want to hear me talk more or something like that.
I'm finna hit the store.